What's up guys, JT Offroad here. Today's video, we're gonna talk shop. So last year I ended up doing a video just kind of covering the garage makeover that happened. Ended up clearing a lot of stuff out, trying to make more space, make some more useful space as far as like a bench top goes. Got rid of sort of like a makeshift shelving unit that I had made. I went with a long wraparound bench top. Along with that, I ended up wanting to get some fabrication tools to put on this bench, and we were finally to that point. I had already kind of filled in this little gap here when I originally had a shelving unit there, and it was about, I think, 18 inches deep, and I just wanted to kind of continue that. It seemed like 18-inch depth was going to be enough for all the tools I wanted to have. So what did I get? I got drill press, bench grinder, tabletop bandsaw, and a sander. The saws at the end, they're just kind of sitting there just because I don't really have any other place for them. So this is what I have. So overall, these are kind of tools that I've been needing to make some little fabrication stuff easier. Putting things in a vise and drilling with a battery operated drill hasn't been the best, and it always kills your arm after a while. So I figured a drill press was going to be a great addition. I decided to go with a Wen brand just based on reviews. I ended up going with the 10-inch with the variable speed motor. It has a digital readout showing you what RPM you're at, has a laser for lining up your holes, so it should be pretty slick. I haven't got to use that yet. Based on reviews, I didn't want to spend a ton of money on a drill press, but I didn't want to get some piece of crap. And the ones at Harbor Freight didn't seem like they had the best reviews. So the Wen seemed like it was a step up, and the 10-inch just seemed like it's going to be more than I would ever really need, and the variable speed just seemed like a very easy thing to use. For the bench grinder, I went with an 8-inch Dewalt. Everyone seemed to have good reviews on that. Again, the Harbor Freight didn't seem like it was the best. I thought about doing a Wen, but the reviews, everybody said just go for a Dewalt. So that's what I went with. So it comes with 2 grinding stones, but I swapped the one out for a wire wheel just because I have a lot of rusty stuff that I work on, and it was going to be nice to have a wire wheel so I don't have to have stuff in a vise using a drill with a wire brush on it, cleaning threads. This would be a lot easier. Not a whole lot to set up on the grinder, just the eye guards and the tables. The tables on these are very stout, no movement. So far I've used it to clean up some threads and sharpen some drill bits, and it's worked awesome so far. There's really not a whole lot of vibration at all with it. So it's definitely a great addition to the garage. Another thing, I don't have everything bolted down yet. I kind of wanted to see what workflow is going to be like first before I start bolting anything down. Next is the bandsaw. I went with the Dewalt one, not really a specific reason. All the reviews seem to be good between either the Dewalt, the Milwaukee, or the Harbor Freight one. So I just went with Dewalt. For the table, I went with the Swag Offroad table, which is great, super solid. I spent a little extra money and got the miter gauge with it. Very, very solid piece. I think there's not really another gauge that will work with this. So it seems like if you're gonna be wanting to use this at some point, just get this with the table. A lot of other people kind of said the same thing in other reviews. And I also opted for the pedal switch. So I gotta think of what I'm gonna do exactly with that, just because I have drawers here that are kind of in the way, and it's gonna take a little more thought. Setup for the table is super simple, just a few screws, just a few bolts, and you just have to take one piece off the bandsaw. And lastly, I just wanted to get a little sander, so I went with the belt and disc sander that Wen has. If you look at this model and you look at other ones, such as the Ryobi, and I even think like the Eastwood company has one too. This is like the exact same design. It just has different stamps and stuff on it. But this whole belt changing is so much nicer than say like the Harbor Freight one. I actually bought the Harbor Freight one, and what a piece of junk that thing is. It's so hard to change the belt out. You have to do lots of screws in the back. When you have the belt up, the whole thing just violently shakes. I don't know how anybody uses it. I'm sure you could do modifications to it and stuff, but if I buy something, I don't want to have to modify it right away to make it work right. When this one is in the up position, there's no movement at all. So this thing is by far way better than the Harbor Freight one. Definitely get something like this. Belt changes so much easier. It's just a lever. You pull it out and it's done. All the materials are just a lot thicker, more solid than Harbor Freight. It's more stout. There's practically no setup coming out of the box. It's just all around, hands down, better than the Harbor Freight one. One other thing I'm probably going to do here is the belt just kind of throws dust this way. I obviously kind of want to catch that somehow. So I'll probably end up putting some sort of shelf here so I can have my saws on it and whatever other equipment I might get. So that's kind of what I've got here, guys. It was a big step for me to do this, and I just needed something that was going to make this a whole lot easier of a process whenever I work on stuff. I don't have the most time anymore, so I think this is going to be making this a whole lot more efficient. So over time, I'm going to probably try to use the pegboard a little more. I don't really take advantage of it the way I should. I kind of just do shelves everywhere because those seem to work well. So I've been trying to take advantage of that a little bit more. I do have a lot of plugs everywhere, so I want to get that cleaned up, try to make that look a little nicer, and probably even going to put some sort of like backsplash, if you will, along the back, so there's not a lot of stuff flying up against getting into the pegboard and such. So sorry that was a lot of talking, not a whole lot of action in this video. Again, I just wanted to get this video out there so you can see what we'll be working with here in the future. Over time, as I use these, I will definitely let you know what I'm thinking about them. So drop that stuff down in the comments, ask away, you know, how do I like this, how do I like that? And if you have any of these, please feel free to drop that stuff down in the comments. Let me know what you think, what you have, what you do like, what you don't like, all that stuff. Let me know. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. So that's about it for this video, guys. We'll see you in the next one.